This is Outnumbered. I'm Andrea Tantaros, and here with us today, Harris Faulkner from our sister network, Fox Business's Kennedy, host of the upcoming new show, Kennedy, political commentator and national spokeswoman for the Libre Initiative, Rachel Campos-Duffy, and today's should-be hair model.
Hair model, really? What?
I think so. You've got some great
I think I got to
Stephen.
color that. Tweets to color it.
When you get
know.
this many compliments about your hair from women, you
Look,
just
I'll take
go
it.
with
Maybe you
that.
appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're not
And
that
also,
nice.
I have a nickname for you. The Flash. How did you get here so fast? I watched you falling asleep last night, and now
You
you're
watched
here.
me falling asleep?
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
I didn't fall
I'm
asleep.
married falling asleep. You were falling
No,
asleep.
you were next to Brett Baer. Which
That's right.
Okay,
Whoa,
now
wait
I'm
a
creating
second. What is
scandal.
going on?
You got here very quickly, and we
I did.
appreciate
I
that.
did. Yeah. It was
let's
fun. I
move
got
on.
up early, did some reading, read the papers.
All right, great.
Good.
Well, we look forward to more analysis from you, so let's hit it. So much for elections having consequences. President Obama's time in office. All right, Stephen, I want to go to you first because quite a bit of cognitive dissonance. And I usually tend to not listen to what people say, but I watch what they do. So after listening to what President Obama said last night, now what do you think he's going to do?
Well, I
Could see the Middle East still burning.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at a fever pitch, what happened in Yemen. He also didn't even mention Al-Qaeda, which was pretty shocking.
Not one mention of Al-Qaeda. Foreign correspondent Richard Engel was reporting live from Istanbul. And last night, after everything was over, he was asked, well, what did you think watching from there? And he said, quote, reminiscent of what you said, it sounded like the president was outlining a world that he wishes we were all living in. He says the president has switched that was funneled at that speech last night.
And isn't, Kennedy, that the problem? I mean, that's where President Obama gets a lot of his criticism, is when he tries to address some tough topics. People go, you're living in a fantasy land. The way that you speak about ISIS, them being JV originally, it's like, I don't know if he's not reading his briefings, but he just seems to not be able to get it and grasp it, at least when it comes to foreign policy. And I think that was pretty much showcased last night.
And it wasn't just that, because although he's not running for office again, I mean, these are flat out lies. It goes beyond delusion. And I think it makes us a little bit less safe if we're not honest.
Gossip, because you were there last night. I want to ask a little bit about the cognitive dissonance that I mentioned earlier. I mean, President Obama saying he wanted to work with Republicans, but then threatening veto power. Also last night, he seemed to taunt Republicans a little bit.
He was Vito Corleone.
Yeah, oh, snap.
Right, super arrogant, right? But here's what I picked up when I was in the room.
saying national security is, it's a problem for the American people.
I ask you, is this incompetence or was this a rush to get the site up and running?
I think it's both. And there is there's a huge focus on this, not just because we've seen Central Command be hacked and we know that cybersecurity is a threat, but if you look at the information, and you mentioned some of it, Kennedy, that people have to submit if they want to sign up, it's more than just the typical age, birthday, social security number. I mean, you have to provide details about criminal past, immigration, and what makes this different is the government agency, the IRS, is sending that information to each government agency to cross-reference it and to validate it. And so it's being sent all over the place only to be sent back. So our information isn't just in certain agencies, it's in all the agencies and
centralized and disseminated.
it's also in the hands of the insurers, which is another worry that they're going to...
You make a good point. I mean, this is your most personal information that I would want compromised less. Now, Stephen, I know you share my love for protecting civil...
Rachel, I was in a sorority, so I can see the benefits of having, as these girls put it, the home court advantage, because if you're going to get just women stepping up, because these are girls proposing this, sorority girls proposing this, saying, look, we want to take some control back, which I actually think when we've argued this, Kennedy, they have said that we are justifying rape and because women shouldn't have to be responsible.
Or at least, attend those sororities, but then horrible situation.
How does it work? Is it like you're saying the universities tell the fraternities you can't have it? It has to only happen at the sorority?
We would have a social schedule, and typically it was set by the social chairs and fraternities, and they had them too, and they would work together. But most of the parties, I will say, were at the fraternities. Stephen Hayes. Rarely did we have anything. I think we had like a cocktail hour at our sorority one time. Now, this isn't saying that it would prevent it altogether, because of course girls can bring guys back to their room if their roommate's away. Things can happen, and look, you can bring drugs and booze anywhere you want to spike a punch or into a girl's room. So this isn't foolproof. It's just a different
Hands of the university. Take it, give it to law enforcement. Have them punish. Have the
vodka. Harris, quick thoughts.
Well, I'm happy for both of you for being pro-beer and pro-vodka.
Girls and boys. The measles epidemic growing in one state, and now we're learning dozens of...
I'd read it, so let me finish. But we had to add that because that's the fact. Right?
That's right.
This is complicated, though, because, you know,
Oh, by the way, we should inform the audience that we're outnumbered because we have a whole staff of producers.
they're talking in my ear right now.
Love
It was
the
51
Patriots.
degrees here, so it's 51.
I like that control room. Watch, they're going to cut my mic.
They're wrapping us.
Remember when they froze the scoreboard at the Ravens game?
No, I'm not going to say Tom Brady's handsome.
Yeah, I was going to say it was fun, Stephen, until they took the air out of footballs and they've took the fun out of football.
We've got 2 cheating coaches in the Super Bowl, and that's why I will truther. I've been using it all week. I will continue to do it.
True.
You are, aren't you?
What?
Stop. All right.
I'm not from
They
Seattle.
really are wrapping us because we're running out of time.
we're
here, but
making
very
sense.
interesting. We'll stay on this important investigation because our senior producer and our line producer and just about everybody else in the booth are from Massachusetts. So there you go.
There you have it.
We'll be on it. Right here for Outnumbered TV version tomorrow at noon Eastern. Right now, Jen and John happening now.